First up, I'm going to do some fasted cardio. We're going to be keeping in cardio over the whole off season for mostly health purposes, and also might help just not get too fat too quickly. And I like doing my cardio fasted, so that's why we're filming this first instead of filming my first meal, even though this is a first full day of eating, because that first meal is going to come after the cardio, but before the training. So you'll see that when we get to it. Alright, hopefully you guys can hear me. This is my first time attempting mukbang style content. I've seen enough of them. Yonu loves to watch them. I watch them with her sometimes too. I don't really have an ideal filming setup for this. I've got the microphone. The camera, normally they have it like pointing down at them. This is a trick they do. I know you probably think mukbangers eat a heap of food. Some of them do, and they're just really fat. But a lot of the time what they do is they put the food really close to the camera to make it look bigger than it actually is. I'm not doing that. I'm just kind of eating it as I normally would. But anyway, they also tend to like chew really loudly and make all these gross noises that sound like the microphone's just straight up in their mouth. Not super into that. I'm also not going to be doing that. What I will try and do is take this as a chance just to like rant and chat to you guys, and hopefully some people enjoy that, and maybe they enjoy the food as well. What we've got here is a blueberry bagel with some cream cheese. We're in the off season, so I can afford that now, but this has been accounted for in my macros on MyFitnessPal. Okay, we're doing that like that. Now, this is my pre-workout meal. Blueberry bagel for the carbs. Bagels are a great carb source pre-workout because they're quite carb dense, and I tend to find they digest pretty easily as well, and they're very tasty. The cream cheese is purely there because it's tasty. Cream cheese is basically just fat. I'm not going to pretend there's some logical reason for why I've got that in there. However, this off season I am actually planning to go with higher fat content than I have in the past. Normally I go really low fat and really high carbs, but I wanted to get in more healthy fats this off season. Of course, cream cheese isn't exactly healthy fats, but we're going to be getting in more eggs, more avocados, more nuts, things with, unsaturated fats to help with cholesterol and that kind of thing. You'll notice as well, I'm chucking salt on there. You might think salt on a bagel with cream cheese, that's kind of weird. First of all, salt is a flavor enhancer. It does make everything taste better. That's why people like it. I'm doing it though because I want the pumps. Salt is fantastic for pumps. How to get a pump is effectively just carbs, water, and sodium. Now there's some other factors like a pump enhancer and whatnot, but that's the big three. I've also got here a skinny cappuccino. That's my go-to coffee. I'm at Revamp Cafe. Should have mentioned that earlier. This is one of my favorite cafes. It's very close to the gym. It's in Garden City. And they make fantastic coffee and the food's really good. I come here all the time. But yeah, Skinny Cap is my go-to because skim milk is basically just carbs and protein. Of all the milk alternatives, I think it has the best macros unless you need something really specific. And they usually give you a little cookie with it. It's basically like a little Biscoff cookie. I'm going to be real, I just don't count this one. This is my little secret treat for the day. Rich Piana. This is a yummy snack, it doesn't count. God, I miss Rich. Anyway, I like to dip that one in the foam of the cappuccino. Oh, yes, I would have these on prep. Get me through those tough days. It's probably like 30 calories or something, I don't know. Anyway, we're eating this before training. I'm going to film the whole thing. The reason I decided to do mukbangs is I feel like there's actually quite a niche. There's an unfilled niche, a gap in the industry, because other mukbangers, if you watch actual like Korean ones, they're not just eating junk food all the time. A lot of them just eat their normal meals, which I think is great. Because the idea in the West of mukbangs is these like Nikocado avocado people who just binge eat disgusting amounts of food. Not exactly a healthy thing to be showcasing, and they're not healthy people. Now, we'll be doing some yummy food like this here and there, but I'm also going to be showcasing more fitness-focused meals for you guys. This is a bit of both. This is like a tasty treat meal, but it's also my pre-workout meal. It serves a purpose, and I've got the macros written down. So, let's dig in. Oh. No. I've just spent almost a week on holiday eating yummy food after my show, but what I found, people say dieting ruins your food psychology, and they're just, I don't know what they're just doing something wrong, because... Alright, sorry about that, just had the classic iPhone storage full. What I was saying is that dieting has actually improved my food psychology, because I just enjoy food more now. Like, man, how can you eat something like this and not just not enjoy yourself, you know? Oh. I mean, cream cheese on a bagel, you're looking at dense carbs, perfect for training. You know, your body does like carbs, but the thing is, people who say that they're a carb addict or that they're, you know, that sort of thing, usually not true. The vast majority of people prefer fats on a biological level. If they go out and eat tasty food, they cheat on their diet, they're getting a dessert, whatever, they go for foods that are high in fat. So if you're sitting here eating a bagel with cream cheese on it and you're not absolutely loving it, then you've got a problem. I didn't even used to like cream cheese when I was younger. And then over the course of dieting, I must have tasted it at some point and gone, wow, this is amazing. So, and it's not just like that with tasty foods, things like cream cheese on a bagel. Vegetables too. There are vegetables that I eat now that I think are just absolutely delicious, and I learned to enjoy them when I was dieting. Anyway, to keep it more to a traditional mukbang, I'm going to shut up a bit and just enjoy my food. Yeah, dipping it in the coffee might be a bit weird. I don't care. I'm here to enjoy myself and fuel up before training. Oh, goddamn. I'll tell you though, the only thing missing, Yonu's not here. She's probably still in bed. You know, part of the reason I don't cheat on my diet is probably the first time I had a cheat meal or just something tasty by myself. Yonu wasn't here. It's just not the same. You know? That's why when you're bodybuilding, this idea that you're going to be some lonely, you know, isolated monk bodybuilder, no girls, no friends, no distractions. what's there to enjoy about any of this if you can't share it with someone else? You know, I like spending some time by myself. I like a little snack by myself here and there. But let's say you go compete at a show. You've prepped for 20 weeks, maybe longer. I think my prep was 23 weeks. 23 weeks of hard dieting. You step on stage, you get off stage. There's no one there. Your girl's not with you. Your friends aren't there. No one came to see. And you get yourself some donuts or whatever, and you go eat them in your car, and you go home. God, that's pathetic. And like, you know, you probably will get an eating disorder. You probably will get a binge eating disorder because you're just secretly and ashamedly eating donuts in your car when you're starving. Like, yeah, great. First of all, what an awesome reward to give yourself. And second of all, yeah, you probably will get an eating disorder. So as delicious as this is, that's got to be the only thing that's missing. Don't have Yonu here to share it with, but you'll see. We'll get her around soon enough. Oh man, the coffee here is so good. Sometimes what I get them to do, they have sugar-free syrup here for the coffee, like flavoring syrups. I don't put that in my coffee. What I get them to do sometimes is actually mix that with the cream cheese, because then you get flavored cream cheese. And it also makes it a bit easier to spread. So that's my tip for you guys. Next time, if you're gonna get a cream cheese bagel, if they've got sugar-free syrups, which, you know, thankfully a decent number of cafes do nowadays, mix it together, it's pretty good. Just ask them to do it at the counter. You don't have to be awkward. Just go up, hey, you got those sugar-free syrups? Can you like mix that together with the cream cheese for the bagel? It's funny to me the way people are like afraid to ask staff at restaurants to do stuff. Like, man, that's their job, you know. I'm sure they don't mind. After this, we're doing a grocery haul, so I'll take you guys along for that. And then training. Normally, it's Friday today. Normally it would be a deadlift day, but my schedule got messed around because of the holiday. I did deadlifts on Wednesday, so we're going to do upper body today. But my new routine is a little weird. We're basically just doing upper body once a week and legs every other session because I need more legs. But in any case, after this, I'll check if we got time. We'll either go straight into training or I'll do the groceries first. And we'll do a grocery haul video so you guys can see what kind of stuff we buy for prep. Sorry, not prep, off-season now. Because yeah, off-season eating isn't all cream cheese bagels. That's just a little treat today. Yeah, Revamp is good. If you guys are in Garden City, if you go to Powerhouse, come to this cafe. It's nice. It's also like the first one that opens. It's pretty much the best cafe here, and it's the first one that opens. So if you're here early in the morning like I am, this is the place to be. Alright guys, we're starting our grocery haul video. I hope you guys are aware that I know that filming everything in public is really cringe. I certainly feel like that doing it, but it is what it is. It's how we got to get it done. So, going to start off with some sourdough bread. Good for gut health, digestibility, etc., etc. All that stuff is kind of secondary though. I mostly just like sourdough. I think it's tasty. Now we're getting into the more important stuff. So, here's the thing. Oh, sorry. I've been watching a lot of bodybuilding content as per usual, seeing some full day of eating type stuff, some grocery haul videos and whatnot. We're gonna get some avocados for the healthy fats as mentioned earlier. And the thing is, a lot of bodybuilders, their diet is pretty boring. They eat the same stuff all the time. I am not the biggest fan of that. Carrots, yeah, we could use some carrots, why not? Get that vitamin A. I much prefer a very varied diet. Now, I could tell you, we're gonna get some pumpkin too. Great low calorie carb source. I am in the off season, so I'm trying to eat more calories, but I'm also just ravenously hungry all the time. So I tend to stick with at least some low calorie options like cabbage, just to keep me full. I think you should have a lot of variety in your diet. Should I grab some of this? No, I probably don't need that avocado. Because that's how you get your nutrient variety. You know, I still take my multivitamin and whatnot, but I think the more varied food you eat, the healthier your diet's gonna be. Because by increasing the variety in the food, you get more benefits from different foods. Like if you only eat rice, you're missing out on the nutritional benefits of potato, sweet potato, you know, whatever else you could be eating. If you only eat chicken breast, you're missing out on the nutritional benefits of beef or fish or whatever. Now, some foods also have downsides. Like tuna, for example, you can't just eat all tuna all the time because of the mercury. Got some sweet potato. Yeah, we'll get some of that. I probably don't need that much. Maybe just one big one here. Yeah, you can't eat tuna all the time because of all the mercury. Oh damn, they're out of Spudlight potatoes. That's okay, we got some at home. So, if you were to stick with only eating tuna, you would obviously get mercury problems. Grab some more eggs. Actually, I am going to be eating more, so we might as well get the big one. I didn't eat much eggs over prep. I've said this many, many times, so you're probably getting sick of hearing me say it by now, but do not think of eggs as a protein source. Eggs are a fat source that happens to have a little bit of protein in them, which is why I wasn't eating many of them over prep. I was eating egg whites, but there's no egg whites here today because, I don't know, maybe there's just too many bodybuilders around now because Powerhouse opened, but I swear egg whites are just always in shortage lately. Now, as for meat sources, okay. Chicken breast on special. It's 13 bucks per kilo. Let's just see what the bulk pieces are, because I normally get those. Okay, bulk chicken breast. Oh yeah, way cheaper, as you might expect. So, I go through a lot of chicken breast, obviously, so I'll grab 2 of these. And my other secret weapon that I always go for, kangaroo mince. Kangaroo mince is just about one of the leanest meats I can find. Compared to the extra lean beef mince that they sell at Woolies, it has half the fat, and it's also only 3/4 the price. Not only that, but if I use 1 kilo of kangaroo mince, which is just the whole package, that is close to my protein for the day. It's very convenient for meal prepping. I'll get some coconut water. This is great for hydration. You gotta add some stuff to it if you want the full effect, but It's basically like a natural Gatorade, and it's very yummy. Again, not the sort of thing I would be using when I'm dieting because it's liquid calories. You don't want liquid calories when you're dieting, but I'm in off season now, so we're not trying to go crazy with it, but we can afford some stuff like that. I think I don't have wraps at home. I quite like to make homemade protein pizzas. And the best thing to use for that, in my experience, is the Mission Light Wraps. Why the Mission Light Wraps and not, there's probably some around here that say they have extra protein in them. If you check the macros on any of these products, like look at this, Garmin's, protein, it says right there, oh look at that, 10 grams in a bar. It's like nothing. What's the macros? Okay, we got 10 grams of protein and 10 grams of fat. That's garbage. That is not a protein source. Yeah, you basically, I'm not saying you shouldn't eat those, I'm sure it's a yummy treat, but that is not a good protein source. This one, 15 grams of protein, also 10 per bar, so that one's marginally better, but still, like, you should not be buying that for the protein. If you're gonna buy something like that, get it, that's like your treat for the day. You might as well just be buying a regular chocolate bar, and you just happen to be getting a little more protein with it. In terms of cereal, I don't normally buy, you see these sort of things, you've got like low carb granola. I want the carbs, that's the whole point. And being low carb, that also means it's going to be higher in fat, which we don't need more of. So that's the thing, in these like health aisle sections, low carb is really trendy right now, so you can basically guarantee anything here is almost off limits for bodybuilding purposes because it's going to be really high in fat and really low in everything else that you need. So is it healthy? I mean, sure, you could say they're healthy fats, but you know, that's easy enough to get already. I can guarantee if you're watching this video right now, unless you're in the deepest part of prep, you are not too low in fats. And if you're in the deepest part of prep, you're not going to be there for too long. Now, normally I'd grab some cereal too, but I'm really stocked up at home. I do like some of these tasty ones, obviously partial to some Cocoa Pops, but recently I've been much more into foods that just have a nice texture. This one, Australian Bush Foods breakfast, I grabbed in prep, and it's just got a bunch of different bits and pieces in there. I actually think that one's delicious. Okay, we're getting some soy milk. Yonu likes the soy milk. I like soy milk too. Don't buy into the soy causing estrogen meme. It actually does. Soy does have estrogen in it, but you would have to consume an insane amount of soy milk for that to become a problem. And estrogen isn't bad for you anyway. It's just having too much estrogen is not good. I think soy is quite tasty. The macro profile's okay, similar calories to normal milk. And the fats in it are healthy fats for the most part. We got fruit juices here, but I'm not deep enough into into off season yet where I need to use fruit juice for carbs. I'd rather just eat my carbs. Not gonna lie though, I used a bit of prune juice on prep to clear out for the weight cut, and it was actually quite tasty, so I might get some of that later. Normally I have a grocery list, but it's on my phone and I'm using the phone to film, so probably going to forget some stuff today. Soft drinks and energy drinks. I am certainly partial to some, sugar-free soda and my classic white Monsters. I also like the watermelon Oxy Shred, but we've got a few at home. Noodles, no. As for stuff like noodles and whatnot, I'm probably going to grab that from Hanaro Mart or some other Korean mart later, because they just have the kind that I like. Let's see, what else do we need? Flour, sugar, dried fruit. We could use some dried fruit. I also want to get some canned beetroot. Beetroot, it's got nitrates in it, good for your heart, good for getting a pump. And pineapple as well. Basically, I was just going through a bunch of different carb sources and foods and fruits and vegetables, etc., that are good for bodybuilding nutrition, and pineapple is one of them. So I'm going to start including pineapple in my diet a bit more, and to that end, some canned pineapple. Something that is important for you guys to understand: fresh fruit, fresh anything, is actually not more nutritious than not fresh ones. Let's see, diced beetroot? Yeah, let's get that. So here's the thing. In Australia, we have this concept, not just Australia, but a lot of Western countries, we have this idea that fresh foods are inherently healthier. It's actually just not true. I think it comes from the fact that fresh foods are normally a bit tastier, fair enough. But also, back in the day before people had access to a fridge, you know, fresh food is less likely to make you sick than old food. Already got nuts at home. I am going to be eating more nuts for the healthy fats. But yeah, like frozen fruit, canned fruit, that's not old, it's not spoiled, it's not going to make you sick. And here's something people don't realize. The stuff that gets put in a can or frozen can be picked at any time. So that fruit or vegetable or whatever can be picked at the ideal time when it has absorbed the most nutrients from the soil. Whereas the fresh ones just have to be picked when they're picked. So in that case, you can actually make the case that frozen or canned fruit and vegetables are actually healthier than the fresh variety because they literally have more nutrients in them. It's probably a really minor difference, but if you care about that difference, it's actually more in favor of the not fresh ones. They're usually cheaper as well, so that's nice. Okay, let's see. All right, we're gonna get some cheese, and of course we're getting the goat Eat Lean cheese, not goat as in goat cheese. Oh hell yeah, it's on special, so good. I've got some of the shredded one at home already, so I'll just get the slices. Something that you guys should understand, cheese is not a protein source, similar to eggs. Cheese is literally just congealed fat that, if you're lucky, has a little bit of protein in it. However, Eat Lean cheese has a ton of protein in it. It's actually better macros than some protein powders. So Eat Lean cheese, certainly worth getting. Any other kind of cheese, I mean, if you just want to eat some fats, unfortunately, cheese is mostly saturated fat, so it's not even the healthy fats. Again, that doesn't mean you shouldn't eat it. None of this is like, oh, you can't eat this, don't eat this. If you're a bodybuilder, blah, blah, blah. Health, whatever. That's not what I'm getting at. But if you care about your macros, you probably won't be doing that. However, most bodybuilders have unfortunately just given up on dairy. They don't eat a lot of dairy. They've just accepted that they can't fit cheese into their diet, even though they like it. But thankfully, that's just not true anymore. You can get Eat Lean cheese, it's great. We're getting Hydrolyte too. Hydration, really underrated. The funny thing is, a bunch of supplement companies have been pushing hydration recently because they realized that they can make it the next big thing, the next product to sell. So everyone's got their like hydration formula that they're pushing as, you know, their new supplement. But in my experience, just good old Hydrolyte at the grocery store is still the most effective one, and it's cheap as shit. So just get that. If you've got a hydration supplement with some extra bits and pieces in it that are worthwhile, go ahead and use that. But otherwise, Hydrolyte is probably way better value. Okay, gonna grab some protein yogurt because recently, when I am having cereal, I kind of prefer the thickness of the yogurt over milk. I don't really like the flavor of yogurt, but I can always add more protein powder to it to flavor it. So I'll just get the vanilla YoPro. What you'll notice, I find it funny, people have asked me, YoPro or Paul's or Chobani or whatever, which one's the best one? If you check the macros on there, they're basically identical. The only reason some say they have more protein in them is because they've just made the serving size bigger. So, you know, if the serving's 100 grams with 10 grams of protein and the other one's 150 grams with 15 grams of protein, they're actually the same. One of them just has the serving size is just different. Normally I would get some frozen berries, but I actually have frozen blueberries at home already. Some of this stuff's going to have to go in the freezer. I don't know if I can be bothered getting others. That should do in that regard for now. And we've probably had time for that bagel to digest so that I can use the carbs from that for my training session now. Pretty sure that wouldn't be everything I needed, but like I said before, I can't see the grocery list, so this I think will have to do. We got the main stuff. Unfortunately, I was thinking, do I get a pepero to share with Yonu? But no, not today. Yeah, I was actually really hoping to get some Spud Light potatoes, but they are out today, so next time. As a bodybuilder, I typically, calling myself a bodybuilder seems kind of cringe. I've competed once, but you know, trying to take things seriously. I typically go for grocery runs like 3 times a week, but the thing is, I live really close to multiple different grocery stores, and I work right next to a big grocery store. It's very convenient for me. I got a Costco membership because I thought we'd just go do big bulk grocery runs there. Costco in Australia is a scam. The only stuff there that's cheaper in bulk is like the snacks. The stuff you would actually buy and need is pretty much the same price. Anyway, that'll do. Okay, post-workout meal. What I was planning to do was to include the macros for each meal, but the thing is, this is just a portion of my meal prep where I basically make a bunch of stuff, put it in a big container, and then divvy it up into smaller containers. So what I'll do is include the macros from that whole thing, and this is like roughly a quarter of that. But part of why I wanted to show some of this is because, like I said in the grocery haul, I eat a lot more variety than a lot of bodybuilders do. So you can see here, we've got multiple carb sources. We've got rice, we've got various vegetables, we've got some pumpkin in here, we've got some beans. For protein sources, we've got salmon and chicken breast. The salmon is obviously a healthy fat source, got omega-3s and whatnot. That's new for this off season because I wanted to include more healthy fats. Of course, as a result, I have to eat less carbs. So this is a bit of an adjustment for me. I'm used to eating just like a huge pile of carbs with not much fat, but we'll see how this one goes. Hopefully it results in just better cholesterol and things like that in my health checks. Of course, on a similar note, we've also got avocado in here. I think that's most of it. So we've got cabbage, we've got some bamboo in here. I actually like bamboo in my veggies because it's really filling. It's a great fiber source, really low calories. Yeah, chicken breast, salmon, some beans, normally the 4-bean mix I tend to get, avocado, and it's all just mixed together. Oh, so good. And then what I'll do as well, salt, obviously. We add salt to just about everything. In the off season, not really bothering to measure my salt intake all that much. What I'm doing right now, this is iodized sea salt. I need to recover my thyroid a little bit after prep, make sure that's all working properly. And iodine is key for thyroid function. So I'm going for the iodized sea salt as opposed to, normally I'll use like Himalayan pink salt or something. It's not a huge deal for your average person, but for me right now, it matters a little bit. The other reason I like variety in my food, aside from, yes, the macronutrient and micronutrient, actually, it's more important for micronutrient variety, really. But honestly, I just like it. Like having a big mix of different carb sources is just enjoyable to me. I like that rather than eating a big pile of rice, I can get a nice, piece of pumpkin with the rice, mix it all together. That's just enjoyable. You know, it's funny, once your taste buds sort of adjust to not eating, let's say cheat food exclusively, because realistically, a lot of people out there literally eat what should be a cheat meal for like every meal of the day. You know, if they skip breakfast at home and then they go to work and, oh, I didn't bring anything to work, so I'm gonna go out for lunch, and they'll get like, oh, the healthy option, I'll get a Subway sandwich. But in reality, they pick like the fattiest, sauciest Subway sandwich with like barely any protein on there. Something like that. And you just repeat that for every meal of the day. That's how most people eat. Once you're used to eating prep food, like I'm never dissatisfied with the foods I'm eating aside from the quantity. Like I'm just hungry, I want to eat more, but the foods I'm eating, I enjoy them. You know, on prep when it was just Spud Light, pumpkin, cabbage, and lean meats, I still enjoy that a lot. And I think that really helps with the food psychology, because after I'd finish a cheat meal, I'd go out and eat fried chicken or something. I'm not like, oh my God, the cheat meal's over, I don't get any more fried chicken. It's just, I'd go home, look in the fridge, oh, there's my chicken breast and potatoes for tomorrow. Fantastic, that's gonna be delicious. So we mostly continue that. We're picking a lot of the same foods going into the off season. We're just introducing some new ones like more avocado, more salmon for healthy fats, and we've got more wiggle room to have fun as well. So good. If you guys are watching this whole thing, you let me know if you prefer me talking during these parts, or I know most mukbangs, they don't really talk, they just sort of sit there and eat. So we'll see if you enjoy that, I guess. If not, you're always free to skip ahead. In case you're wondering why I'm breathing so loudly and sniffling, I'm not sick or anything, I just got mad hay fever from Melbourne. Always happens. I didn't even realize when I lived there for 4 years, I just had hay fever the whole time. Can't wait for that to be done. I don't understand, like, dieting has made me enjoy food so much more. I just take a bite of pumpkin, like just roast pumpkin. It's so sweet. It's so delicious. Even if there's no salt or anything or sauce or whatever, just pumpkin. And it's so good. And I feel bad for people who can't enjoy food like that. They'll say something, me and Yonu often have Korean sweet potato or Korean, I think it's sticky pumpkin or sweet pumpkin, whatever. We'll watch a mukbang sometimes and they'll get a sweet potato and they have to like drown it in like sugary, you know, cream or whatever to enjoy it. I like putting a little bit of sugar-free maple syrup on there sometimes, but just the sweet potato or the pumpkin is already so delicious, and I feel bad for people who can't just enjoy that for what it is. Yeah, my appetite, still crazy post-show, but to be honest, I've always had a high appetite since I was a kid, probably when I was a fat kid, but I could just eat another like 3 or 4 of those right now, but we'll save it for later.